Hey there, folks. I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome back to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, as I said in my update video a few days ago, the reason why I've been absent for almost a month is because my previous Windows laptop became slow and outmoded, and it suddenly stopped working, and for that, I apologize. Anyway, even though Christmas is over and we just entered into 2021, let me remind everybody watching that Christmas is not just the time to be singing Christmas songs, exchanging presents, shopping, or decorating, but it's mostly the time to be celebrating the birth of a very special child who was born over 2,000 years ago in a humble stable. Yep, it's about time I talk about Jesus again, and I admit, while I haven't been going to church as often as I used to, without Jesus, Christmas wouldn't be the glorious holiday it is today. Though, I am sad that due to COVID-19, I wasn't able to join in the Christmas Eve service at Church of the Foothills last month. Also, for those of you who are new to my show, in the past, I looked at two animal movies that took place during the time of Jesus' birth, which were The Crippled Lamb from 2000 and The Star from 2017. And while The Glory of Christmas from the Crystal Cathedral may be one of my favorite stage recitations of the legendary story, today I want to look at a biblical drama movie from 2006, which to me is absolutely glorious, and I think it may interest you during the holidays. So, released on December 1st, 2006, the movie is The Nativity Story. Now, let's get started. Betrothed to Joseph, Mary must remain a maiden for 1 year, but she subsequently receives a visit from the angel Gabriel, who tells her of her destiny. When Joseph and the now heavily pregnant Mary journey to Bethlehem for the Roman census, they face a threat from King Herod, whose obsession with an ancient prophecy endangers the soon-to-be-born Messiah and Son of God, Jesus. So, what do I personally think of this movie? Well, I think this movie is absolutely excellent, and it's a glorious movie to watch during the Christmas holidays. But to further explain why I enjoy the film, let's move on to Mustang notes. The movie was directed by Catherine Hardwicke, who would later direct Twilight and Red Riding Hood. And to me, this movie is a lot better than those two films. It was the first movie to hold its world premiere in the Vatican City in Rome. By the way, it's been almost 2 years since me and my parents took a tour there when we were in Rome. The film was shot in Matera and Craco, Italy, and Orzazate in Morocco. Now, one of the reasons why I like this movie is because I got to see this at the Crown Valley Cinema, not only with my parents and my sister, but also with some friends from Terra Nova Church, including Miss Shelley Terry, whom back then was the leader of the Canyon Hills Church Academy, where me and my sister got to be in several church shows like these. And sadly, because Shelley and her family moved away to Colorado, it really broke my heart that it made me retire from ever going to church ever again, except for Christmas Eve services. Anyway, aside from that sad backstory, I really love the movie's setting and cinematography. It almost makes you feel like you're actually witnessing the actual origin of Christmas. Plus, there are a few scenes that make the story very serious, like the taxation, along with the stoning consequence, And there's also a scene in the Jerusalem temple which really gives me the chills. Plus, the scenes that stick out to me the most is the opening text, which quotes Jeremiah from the Bible, along with the scenes when Mary and later Joseph are visited by Gabriel, when Mary and Joseph journey to Bethlehem for the census, and the scene where baby Jesus is born, which really made me cry in happiness. Also, the part where the Star of Bethlehem appears in the night sky is just so beautiful and powerful that it makes me glad that I actually got to see the actual Christmas star during winter solstice last month. Another thing I like in this movie is the music, composed by Michael Dana, who also composed the music for the 2003 Hulk movie, along with Sony's Surf's Up, Pixar's The Good Dinosaur, The Man Who Invented Christmas, The Addams Family, and Onward. And in my eyes, Dana's musical score is absolutely excellent. I mean, there are times when it feels powerful, emotional, ancient, and intense. Also, sometimes while listening, I can hear instrumental versions of legendary Christmas songs like O Come Emmanuel and Silent Night. Anyway, now that we're done with Mustang notes, let's move on to the cast. Let's start with Joseph, played by Oscar Isaac, best known as Poe Dameron from Star Wars Episodes 7 through 9 and last year's Addams Family movie. To me, Oscar does a great job playing Joseph. Also, I think his character is a strong carpenter, like when he's building a house for his new family. And even though he was surprised and confused when Mary became pregnant, I'm glad that in the end, Joseph remains loyal to his new wife and that he's determined to protect her and the upcoming newborn king. Next is Joseph's wife, Mary, played by Keisha Castle-Hughes, who was not only in Star Wars Episode 3, but she was also in the hit TV series Game of Thrones. To me, Mary is a hardworking farmer, despite the fact that her parents can be pretty strict on her. But after she and Joseph are betrothed, and Gabriel gives her his message from God, Mary feels a bit unsure and a little scared. However, I thought the scene where she visits her cousin Elizabeth and witnesses the birth of her son John was very touching. Next we come to the angel Gabriel, played by another Game of Thrones actor, Alexander Siddig, whom was also in Kingdom of Heaven and the terrible Clash of the Titans remake. In my eyes, this character is very mysterious, not only when he turns into a bird, but also when he gives Mary and Joseph God's message. Also, I like the part where he tells the shepherds in Bethlehem that Jesus was born. Next we come to Zechariah, played by Stanley Townsend. To me, Zechariah is a wise preacher, though, as I stated earlier, it was pretty spooky when he was cursed with muteness after his visit to the temple in Jerusalem. Fortunately, his voice came back when his wife Elizabeth gave birth to the future Baptist John. Next is the villainous King Herod the Great, played by Ciarán Hinds, whom was in The Phantom of the Opera from 2004, The Tale of Despereaux, Race to Witch Mountain, Harry Potter 7 Part 2, and the Frozen movies. In my eyes, Herod is a ruthless tyrant, despite being loyal to Caesar Augustus. Throughout the movie, Herod is feeling threatened by the prophecy of a future Messiah, and he's willing to do all in his power to keep it from coming true. Finally, we have the three wise men: Balthazar, played by Eric Abouani, Melchior, played by Nadim Sawalha, and Gaspar, played by Stefan Khalifa. To me, these three kings from the east are the wisest people in the story, and before they started their journey to Israel, they've been studying the stars like astronomers do these days. Also, I love the part where they give baby Jesus gold, frankincense, and myrrh as gifts. And now let's move on to my final words. Overall, the Nativity story is a glorious movie to watch during the holiday season. The setting and cinematography is great, the story is excellently written, and it feels epic, thought-provoking, and emotional. The musical score is powerful, and the cast did a great job playing their characters. This is definitely a must-watch during the holiday season, especially on Christmas Eve, but I wouldn't recommend younger audiences watching this without their parents. And so, I give this movie a full 100%. And with that, Season 8 of Mustang Prince Orro Reports has come to an end. I'm very sorry that this episode took so long to put together, but I'll do what I can to make sure that I don't have technical difficulties with my new Apple laptop. So be sure to join me again in February for Season 9. Because I think I need a little break, and let's hope that COVID gets defeated this year. But until then, this is Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, saying, Mustang Power. And may all of you have a safe and happy New Year.